My name is Hannah, and this is my year of less stuff. It's time for another reckoning. If you happen to be new here, the reckoning is the video in which I go through the things that have come my way by some means other than the means of me buying them. So in, I think, almost every case, oh, actually, there's a little bit of nuance in this one. So mostly it's PR. It's things that brands have sent to me because they're hoping that I'll really love them and I'll talk about them on my channel. So I end up getting a lot of that stuff, and I'm trying only to keep it if I truly, truly love it and think I'm going to get good use out of it, because I don't want to end up with more stuff at the end of the year than I started with. But some of the things in my purgatory box this month are things that I purchased myself for review. I didn't buy them for my own purposes. I bought them with my channel budget for review on my channel, and I consider those things to have not been decided on yet. I consider them to be also in purgatory because I just bought them for review. I didn't buy them for myself. I have the opportunity to keep them if I decide that I like them enough to keep them. If not, it's not a big deal if I bought it for review and then I decide to pass it along or to donate it. That's fine. It's just part of the workings of a YouTube channel. It's part of running a beauty YouTube channel. So I'm going to be deciding today about a bit of PR and a bit of makeup that I bought myself for review. The purgatory box is what I call the place where I put that stuff while I'm testing it and trying to decide whether or not I want to keep it. It's my way of keeping PR and review makeup from just flooding straight into my collection, like insinuating itself into my actual makeup collection without me having had a moment to mindfully decide about it and mindfully make the decision to keep it or not to keep it. Let's go ahead, you guys know what's going on, and get into the meat of the video. I'm going to try to make it through more than I usually make it through this round because I feel like it's gotten too much. I have a regular cardboard, little cardboard box. That's the main purgatory box, and I'm trying not to let it overflow. But I've been keeping some things on my vanity in this acrylic tray, and I'm just going to reckon with the stuff that I've put in there. And I've made sure that everything that's in there I'm kind of ready to reckon with so that I can get through a lot of it, because I would really like to start sending some of it out. I donate a lot of stuff. I donate through Project Beauty Share, and especially when I have something totally untouched and unopened, I tend to donate it. But I also am constantly sending things out to friends, to other people who have YouTube channels, sometimes to subscribers. I would ask that you don't email me and ask me for things that I'm deciding to pass along, because I really I need to be able to decide whether or not I'm going to donate it to women in need or give it away to someone. And when it's something that I'm going to give away, I really prefer to be able to make the decision on neutral ground about who I'm going to give it away to. It puts me in a really awkward position when I get a bunch of emails from a bunch of people asking for the same thing, because how can I know like where to send it? I do end up tapping people who, just subscribers. I mean, I often just send things out to subscribers, kind of like behind the scenes giveaways, but I ask that you let that be in my hands rather than like trying to put yourself in the way of that. Where were we? That was kind of an uncomfortable tangent. I'm sorry, but it's just, it was something that I needed to say. I was going to say that I'm hoping that this will be a somewhat robust but not too labored reckoning, because I have a lot that I need to deal with, but I feel like I can move through it pretty rapidly. But before we get to the makeup and skincare, there are two things that I have to reckon with that aren't makeup and skincare, and I'm going to knock them out of the way first. This is weird. It's like a piece of clothing that came up in my Actually Free store. It's workout clothing from this brand called Thrive Societe. And you guys know that right now I'm feeling the like really ratty nature of my workout wardrobe, and I was telling you in another video recently that all of my tops are just like old ratty old t-shirts that I've picked up from various places. So it was very tempting when this popped up, and I requested it and they sent it to me. It's fine. I've used it once to work out. I'm probably going to keep it just because it's like, I don't want to look a free workout top in the mouth, but it's a very, very basic tank, except that it has this detail, which I couldn't really see in the picture when it was on Actually, they made it look like it was like this, but when you put it on, the reality is that it flops down. Yeah, oh, you can totally see. It flops down like that. So when I have the shirt on, there are these two totally useless little loops, sort of like a tank top version of a open shoulder top or something. And I dislike that. I don't really like when a piece of clothing has like a design detail that's just like an extra thing, unless that thing is incredibly purposeful in statement, like a huge bow or a high collar, unless it's like flattering in a way that alters your silhouette. And this does not strike me as that. This to me just looks like you might get it caught on something, and I would much prefer it was just a regular tank. But again, I'm gonna hang on to it for the time being. It's also not the best quality. I mean, it's probably just almost 100% polyester, if not 100% polyester. It has that kind of soapy feeling, you know what I'm talking about? Not the kind of thing I would have bought for myself in the store, but I'm very grateful to have this nice, clean, white tank that I can add to my workout drawer, something a little bit crisper and something that will refresh my workout wardrobe. And I'm thinking that I might be able to retire one of my old t-shirts and replace it with this. This second thing that has recently come my way that's not clothing, or that's not makeup, it's also not clothing, it's not makeup and skincare, I'm actually much more excited about. It's a pillow. It's a pillow from this brand called Sleep and Glow. And when they reached out to me, you guys know I get a lot of emails from weird brands asking me to show stuff on my channel, weird stuff. I mean, I think every other day I get an email asking me to review like a hair straightener, and I've never straightened my hair in my life. Also other weird hair tools and beauty tools and just like weird stuff. The volume of these emails is such that I barely glance at many of them. I just check to make sure that it is what it seems, which is something I'm not interested in. And this almost was that, because the brand is called Sleep and Glow, and it's like a pillow, like a revolutionary way to like lay your head down at night. And I was kind of like almost on the delete button. And then I started looking into it, and I was like, this is something that I might be willing to give a try, because I am very serious about the quality of my sleep at night. I also am very serious about the health of my back and neck and trying to like keep everything aligned and healthy. And I was like, if this is a thing, then it might be like a thing that I'm interested in. I also am sort of an unusual sleeper. I often do this weird thing where I like scoot my face to the very edge of the bed, and I rest my ear on the corner of the mattress so that the rest of my face is hovering in space over the edge of the mattress. And I do that to try to position my face so that my face isn't being squashed by its contact with the mattress. And I usually sleep on my stomach or on my side. It's just maybe this part of me that's like trying to keep sleep wrinkles from forming, but it's also more comfortable for me for some reason. It's like a comfortable position for my neck. So when I looked into this pillow, that's what it's designed to do. I have my own silk pillowcase over it, just a regular pillowcase, so that it'll match the rest of our bedding. And also I really like this pillowcase, but I'll show you what it looks like inside. So it's contoured and it has these dips in it, and it's a pretty firm but squishy, what is that stuff called? Memory foam. You can position your head on it so that, just like I do on the edge of the mattress, so that my ear is like on the thing and the rest of my face is hovering in space in this area where it's indented, essentially. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a try and see if I can sleep comfortably in a way that's less awkward, because I have this pillow which seems to be designed to give me that chance. So the instructions say to ease into it, like to just use it for 20 minutes the first night to like, so that your head and neck can adjust. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is like serious business. And I completely disregarded the instructions and I slept on it through the night, starting on the first night. And I did feel some sort of, it was like a good hurt in my neck, like a weird soreness. I could feel that it had taken my like neck by surprise, but it didn't like hurt. I didn't get a crick in the neck. I didn't get like knots or anything. I understand why they suggest that you do that. But I think that it was all in service of a good thing, a better night's sleep, better alignment for my neck. And I've had it for like 2 months. I waited a really long time before talking about it on my channel because I wanted to be able to give a really thorough review. And at this point, I'm sleeping on it every night. It's my choice pillow for sleeping. I really, really do like it, and I'm really glad that they sent it to me, and I'm definitely gonna keep it. It's very expensive. I just looked it up before sitting down to do this review. It's like over $100 for a pillow. So I would not buy it with my own money. I do not have that kind of money to spend on a different kind of pillow right now. I cannot in good conscience say like, oh yeah, like it's worth it. What I can say is that I've tested it and I like it. So if that price point doesn't trouble you, if you're someone who is interested in this kind of thing and you've been looking around and you have that amount of money to spend on a pillow, then like if we remove price from the equation on my end, like what it would mean to me to spend that much money, I like it. Like it's worth it to me to own it. And in owning it, I'm continuing to use it. So you can apply that towards your own decision making. I wish it wasn't so expensive because it is something that I really like. It's pretty much a situation where I'm like really, really lucky to be on the receiving end of this kind of PR. So I'll leave it down below if you're interested and you want to click through and read about it and stuff. Let's get into the good stuff, the stuff we've all been waiting for. There is some really good, actually, I'm gonna start with the thing that I'm the most gagged over that's in this purgatory box. I think I'm the most gagged over it. Do you know what these are? This is something I've wanted to try for so long. I feel like I've maybe wanted to try these since before I was even on YouTube because I saw Pixie Woo. I think it was Sam Chapman on Pixie Woo talking about these one time. And I was just like, that sounds like the dream of my life. These are the Daniel Sandler watercolor blushes. And it's a set of 4, I think, minis. And I cannot believe that these would be sold in a bigger size than these because I've been testing them out and they are so pigmented. A little goes such a long way. It's what I'm wearing on my cheeks today. I have mixed this one, which is called Luxe, with the lighter highlighting one, which is called Moon Glow. I mix them together and it's just, they're truly liquid. Like you drop them out and it's truly liquid, like it would run off of your hand. But they're very pigmented, and so you just have to be pretty careful because it's really easy. They can, I mean, it kind of did get all over my face today, but it could have gotten even more out of control if I hadn't been more careful. So I just can't imagine that these wouldn't last a lifetime. But I believe this is a mini set, and it was sent to me as a gift from a retailer, a website that retails a bunch of different skincare and makeup. It's called Skin Store. I think it's part of the Look Fantastic group, but it's like it's a subset of that. So I'll leave them linked down below also. And I think they might still be selling this set at a discount. It was a Mother's Day special. They reached out to me before Mother's Day because they were running a campaign by which they wanted to send me something for myself and also something for me to give to my mother for Mother's Day. And you know how much I love gift giving, and I was all over that. I was like, let's do it. And this was the thing that I chose for myself. I couldn't believe it when I saw that it was on the list of the things that I was able to choose from because I've wanted to review them forever. I might even do, although it probably wouldn't get that many views, but who cares, a dedicated review for these because literally it's been like a dream product for me. I think I once looked into them and I think that the full size is like quite expensive. Like to buy just one bottle by itself is something like maybe even $40s, $50. I'm just making this up, so I could be completely wrong. But I remember feeling like it was too rich for my blood at the time. And I think that this whole set is around that much. So if it's still available in Skin Store, I'll link it. I'll see if I can link Daniel Sandler blushes somewhere else. Needless to say, I'm ecstatic to be able to review these, and I'm definitely going to keep them. The thing that I picked for my mother, by the way, I don't have right here because I have it I have it somewhere else, preparing to ship it to her, but it's a set of 2 Jurlique products, a hand soap and a hand lotion. We're all doing so much hand washing right now that I thought it would be a really amazing gift to give my mother, like a luxury hand soap and a luxury hand lotion, because that's the kind of thing that she would never buy for herself, but that she will definitely use. So I don't have them on me, but I'll put up a picture of the set that they sent me for her. So thanks Skin Store for sending these things to me. It's such an incredibly sweet idea to not just send something like for me to review, but also offer to send something for me to give to my mother. That really warmed the cockles of my heart. Okay, Derma E has once again sent me like a kit of 3 things in a single one of their ranges. They have like a they'll do this thing where they have like a range that's based on a certain ingredient, and then they'll have a cleanser and a moisturizer and a serum and a scrub, or all of these things in that range. So if you are really interested in a certain ingredient, you can like get everything in that range. I really trust Derma E as a brand in terms of their ethics, in terms of their formulation. I think their products are amazing. The price point is amazing for the products. I'm a huge fan of Derma E. I feel so lucky to be on their PR list, and every time I get their stuff in the mail, I'm always like, wow, it's so great. And then I always look it up, and the prices are always so great, and I can't express enough how grateful I am. I have a number of their products already in my bathroom that I'm using. A cleanser, a scrub, a microdermabrasion scrub that's so good. I love their heavier night moisturizers. I've gone through a couple of jars of those at this point. And there is like a clay, it's like a clay mask that's also a cleanser. It can either be used as a cleanser or a mask that I've been really enjoying that's in my bathroom right now. Given that I already know that these are awesome, I don't feel like I need to like open them up and test them out in order to be able to say to you guys, oh yeah, these products are really good. It's also an ingredient, it's their CBD line. So CBD serum, de-stressing, calming CBD cleanser. It's not that I don't think that the ingredient is probably contributing to the quality of these products, but there's nothing about the ingredient that's making me go like, oh, I definitely want to keep that. To me, it's just probably a very good Derma E cleanser, a very good Derma E moisturizer, and a very good Derma E serum, because I feel like all of the moisturizers and cleansers and serums that they make are good. This is all just to say that I feel like I can give these away unopened. I can donate them, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm not even going to crack them open. I'm going to take advantage of the fact that they're in this pristine state and either give them away to someone I know who would like or need them, or go ahead and donate them through Project Beauty Share. So I'm looking at my box and I'm seeing all these things that I reviewed that I haven't talked about in a reckoning yet. I think I'm going to knock them all out at once. So the Patrick Ta Brow Wax, it's ridiculous that it's even in here because I've been using it every day and I love it. I'm definitely keeping this, and I will probably repurchase it when I've finished it. Like I'm sold. I absolutely love it. I will say, many of you in that review asked me if I thought that it would be used up quickly. You were like, it looked like you used a lot on the first go round. It seemed when I first started using it like it was just a little bit at a time, but I've made a pretty big dent in it. Like I do feel like I've used maybe not a whole quarter of it, but close. Like I'm going through it basically. And at first I was a little bit alarmed, and then I realized that a lot of the wax was ending up in the spoolie, gathering in the spoolie. So I was like, why am I using so much every time? And then I looked in the spoolie and I was able to squeeze the spoolie and get so much product out of the spoolie. So basically when I dip the spoolie in, the spoolie's picking up a lot more product than it's transferring to my brows. So what I've been doing is every couple of uses, squeezing the excess product out of the spoolie and putting it back into the compact, and then digging into it over and over again. And I feel like doing that is going to make it last longer. But it will be interesting even doing that to see how long this actually lasts. As soon as I completely pan it, I'll report back with some numbers about like cost per use, and we can talk about value again at that time. The Becca Ignite thing. I gave this a very bad review because it's very slimy and sticky and greasy, and the only thing that's good about it is that it looks beautiful and I like the smell. And I said in that review that in spite of all of my negative experiences with it, I was probably going to keep it to use as a body highlighter when the world returns to some kind of normalcy, when I go out dancing tango and stuff like that. And then after I had put it all over my body for that review, it got all over Joe, and it got like all over our stuff, and it got in our laundry, and I was just like, I don't think I ever want to use this again because it doesn't dry. Even on the legs, I think it would look stunning, but it doesn't dry. I think that I might try to give it away to somebody who wouldn't mind the stickiness in the way that I did, I think that that's probably what I'm gonna do. I bought it for review, I gave the review, and I thought I was gonna try to keep it, but I think I'm not. I'm gonna give it away. And, oh, this isn't for review. The Rowan 1111 quad, definitely keeping. I gave that an excellent review. That's everything in here that I bought for review. But this is another thing that, well, not another thing that I think is fantastic, because I didn't think that the Becca one was fantastic. This is a thing that I think is fantastic, that I'm really grateful to have been able to demonstrate on my channel, that I'm also going to give away. It's almost brand new. It's very beautiful. It's the Aether Beauty Cheek Palette in Ruby, Crystal Charged Cheek Palette in Ruby. And I demonstrated this in a Get Ready With Me with very, very glossy, flushed cheeks. There's nothing about it that's not stunning. It's stunning in every way. I just have a lot of cheek products, a lot of blushes, and there are a lot of blushes that I have hand picked for myself, that I've kept through several declutters. There are a lot of blushes that I've purchased myself. I just have like a very curated blush collection. And when I think about, for example, the difference in my feeling between the Daniel Sandler watercolor blushes and this is just like an undeniably wonderful powder blush and highlight product that I think is lovely. And the Daniel Sandler watercolor blushes are like my dream makeup product. And that makes me see that there's probably someone else that is in my sphere for whom this is the dream. I'm gonna do the same thing with this Ofra palette. Ofra sent this to me. It's really lovely. It's a 5-pan smoky eye palette. So it's got a black, a sparkly charcoal, a black, a sparkly charcoal, a sort of satin charcoal, a brown, and like a satin beige sort of. I also used this in a Get Ready With Me last month, and it also performed beautifully. I think the quality is very good. I loved the look that I got with it. But it is a look that I can get with other shadows in my collection. This is such a beautiful little capsule palette. I would love to be able to give it away to someone. So both of these products, it's like I almost feel about them the way that I feel about the things that I bought for myself to review, where it's like the purpose of it passing through my life was for me to be able to demonstrate its use on camera and to make the content. And so it served that purpose for me now. And I feel like these things will be able to serve a better purpose as like makeup items in someone's collection for someone else than they will for me, because my tastes are very specific. Ooh, these, I don't know if this is their proper place, but I'm gonna go ahead and talk about them right now. Here's something that happened to me recently. It occurred to me after like 5 months that when I did that Glossier review back in January, I did like a self-sponsored Glossier review. I purchased some things from Glossier with my channel budget. I reviewed them. And when I linked the products underneath that video, I linked them with my Glossier referral code, which is not an influencer thing. It's just the thing that Glossier does. It's like a code that everyone who is signed up on their website can get, a personalized code. And if someone clicks on your code and they're a first-time customer at Glossier, they get $10 off of their order because you referred them, and then you get a $10 credit. When I'm linking Glossier, I have a choice because Glossier also uses Magic Links, which is the program that a lot of influencers use to monetize their links. So I can make a link through Magic Links to a Glossier product. And if someone happens to click on that link and then they happen to buy something from that website after having clicked on my link, then I'll earn a very, very small commission from Glossier through Magic Links, like a little percentage of the sale. So I could do that when I'm making links, or I could put my like regular old pedestrian Glossier referral code. And if someone clicks on that, then they get the $10 off if they're a new customer. And I get a $10 credit on Glossier that I could then spend on the website. So when I made that video, I put my Glossier code in the description box. And I was like, I wonder if anyone used it. Like, I wonder if anyone clicked on that link and was a new customer and decided to buy something, and then I got a $10 credit. So I went into my Glossier account. This was just like a couple of weeks ago. A handful of people had clicked through that link at some point over the past several months and made a purchase and gotten their $10 off. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to try some things from Glossier that I didn't feel like were the kinds of things I wanted to review, but that I'm curious to try. So like things I didn't buy the first time around. I purchased these, well, I didn't purchase them. I exchanged some of my credit from you guys, clicking on that link for these vanillic lips. And if you were one of those people, thank you, because this is so exciting. It's like I'm able to now review some more things casually from Glossier. I love this formula. I am gooped. I did not expect to love it so much. It's been on the market for ages, and I was always kind of like, I don't know if that's for me. It looks a little bit goopy, looks a little bit shiny. It looks a little awkward. I was like, I don't know how I feel about that click pen fuzzy tip thing. Oh my gosh, I love the formula. It's what I'm wearing today. I have the shade Disco, which is like a terracotta red. That's what I have on my lips right now. And then the shade Pony, which is supposed to be taupe, but reads very, very mauve on me. I was wearing this in my most recent video, which is the one about my eyeshadow palettes, the eyeshadow palette tag video. It looks kind of like a really grungy grayish taupe in the swatches, but something about my complexion adjusts it to mauve, and I've read in the reviews that it's that way for a lot of people. My guess is that warm-toned people kind of turn it to mauve. And it's fine. It's a very natural color and just a very useful color. And the formula, I just absolutely love it. It feels much easier to wear, much more natural, but at the same time, it has this kind of casual drama. More easy. Sorry, I skipped to a new sentence in the middle of my old sentence. It's much easier to wear than I expected, but at the same time, it has this kind of casual drama that I really appreciate. So the vanillic lip has stunned me, and I'm definitely going to keep these. Because I bought them with store credit, I technically probably didn't have to put them in the purgatory box, but I did do that, and that's why I'm talking about them right now. The other thing that, there were a couple things that I threw into that order. I replaced the Glossier Moon mask, and I also got the Greens mask. I'll talk about those at some point in the future. They're not here right now. But one of the other things that I put in the order was the hand cream that Glossier just came out with, because it's a new release. Let me grab it. It was by the side of my bed, but I figure this is as good a time as any to talk about it. I only got it because I wasn't paying with real money. I was just paying with store credit, and because it's a new product, and I was like, well, I'm a YouTuber, might as well just see. And of course, probably those are the secondary reasons. The primary reason is probably just that my hands are very dry because I've been washing them so much, and so are Joe's. We have been using more hand salves and hand creams than we usually do, and I was like, well, this is an opportunity to get one in exchange for store credit, so I threw it in there. I feel like the shape is a little bit awkward, and it's so sexual. It's silicone-y, it's that pale Glossier pink color, and this is the shape. And then look at what's inside this. That's the little dispenser, and then look at what it looks like when the cream comes out. I mean, honestly, it's like a very abstract sculptural reference to the body that I feel like it's at once sort of like something you can't quite pin down, but it's also undeniable. Like if there were an artist who had a big sculpture in a museum, like 200 times this size, but this was the sculpture, and it had this like shape and color and silicone-y texture, and it had this little like nipple thing, and like cream came out of it. What would you think that sculptor's art was about? Like, what would you think that the concept of that art was? And that leads me to ask this question: what was the conversation in the design room, like in the boardroom, when they were talking about making this little nipple red inside of this little cap? And I'm not necessarily criticizing it. It's very compelling. There is really something about it. It's simultaneously awkward and sensual and cheeky. And all of this really matters way less than the actual quality of the lotion, which I find to be very, very high. I also am a huge fan of the Glossier You scent. It's a scent that I have owned. I received a bottle of it as a gift for my birthday from my grandmother in 2018, and I used it all up. It's a perfume that I completely panned. I do like the scent, and this has sort of like a milder and more soapy version of that scent as its scent. So since that package arrived, I have had this on my bedside table, and I have been putting it on my hands every night right before I go to sleep. And I have found that my hands are much softer, but also I just like smelling it when I'm falling asleep. And that has been a really lovely sensory experience. So definitely going to keep those things from Glossier. All right, I feel like that slowed me down a lot. I need to move through more quickly. There are some things from Ofra here. Ofra sent me a lot of things in PR last month, and I can't decide about all of them yet. I'm still testing some of them, but there are some things about which I'm ready to decide. The lip liner and the 3 eyeliners that they sent me, I am not going to keep. They just are too waxy and dry and difficult. It's hard for me to get the eyeliners to apply to my waterline. And the lip liner, as lovely as the color is, it just doesn't inspire me in a way that my other lip liners don't. And I do find it to be the least elegant of all of the formulas of lip liners that I currently have. So I'm going to sharpen these up to sanitize them and then give them away. This lipstick from Ofra, this super weird lipstick, Emerald City, it's a liquid lipstick that I have completely fallen in love with, which is so rare for me. I don't usually fall for liquid lipsticks. It's like a brick red that shifts to green with a duochrome flip, and I love everything about it. I wore it in a video. You guys seem to really like it too, as super weird as it is. It's a very unusual look for me, and it just makes my heart soar. So I'm definitely gonna be keeping that. I also do find the Ofra liquid lipstick formula to be the most comfortable liquid lipstick formula that I've ever tried. So even though I really love the way that it looks, if it were less comfortable than it is, I wouldn't be keeping it, but it has that going for it too. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep that. Ofra sent me 3 lip glosses, and I'm only gonna keep one of them. So the one in the shade Truffle is so good. It's like one of my favorite lip glosses that I even have right now. It's shot to the top of my esteem for lip glosses. It looks dark. It looks like a dark, slightly purplish brown, and I was a little worried that it would be super dark for me. But it shears out on my lips to be just like a juicy, deep color. And it smells kind of like fruity cotton candy. And it's got some glitter in it, and I just love everything about it. I feel like I keep losing it because I've been wearing it so much. I've been losing it in my apartment. Every day I'm getting ready and I'm like, where's Truffle? Where's Truffle? And it's like somewhere in the corner, and then I find it again, and I'm happy to be reunited. So I'm definitely gonna keep that. I feel like I've even used like a good portion of it while it was in the purgatory box. But these other 2, BRB and Myth, are just very, very pale and icy. Yeah, like an icy Barbie gloss. So BRB is sort of like a lavender with lots of shimmer in it. And Myth is like an opaque, super pale pink. And they just aren't really my lip gloss jam. So I'm gonna give them away. This is another thing that I'm sad to say that I'm not going to keep. It's the Rouge Volupte Shine from YSL. I wore it in a video. It was the same video actually in which I demonstrated the Aether Beauty palette. It's just so pink. I love the formula. It's like this juicy, luxurious, glossy, like if a gloss was in a stick. It's like a gloss stick. And it's so beautiful and weighted and just absolutely lovely. It's just so pink. I thought it was gonna be an orange, like a coral orange. That was what it was advertised as. This was sent to me through Octoly. I put it on, it's just like pink, pink, pink as the day is long. The reality is that I know that I'm never gonna wear it. I've decluttered so many like watermelon pink glossy lips because I like the idea of them, but not the reality. I do think though, for the time being, I'm gonna keep this Becca combo. I wore it in a very recent video. I wore it in the video about how I spent my budget in April, and I kind of liked how it looked when I was editing the video. I had overlined my lips slightly with the liner, which is in the shade Pouty, and I had filled in with this shade Dune, and it did look a bit basic, you know what I mean? Like it looked like a bit of a basic YouTube lip, but I do feel like it was something different for me, and I did like the way that the color read on me on camera. So for the time being, I'm gonna go ahead and keep these guys. I feel like I might change my mind about those. I'm gonna go ahead and add them to my permanent collection, about which I'm feeling much less sort of distraught these days. I might change my mind if a couple of months go by and I don't use them again. But I don't want to leave things in the purgatory box right now. I just want to get through it. So I'm going to go ahead and keep them. This Ofra primer, I tried a couple of times, the Northern Lights primer. It just doesn't really give me that glow. And this is something that I can easily donate or give away to someone. It's a lovely primer. It's just that I would honestly rather literally buy the VDL Lumilayer primer with my own money. I would rather do that than use this up before then allowing myself to do that. So I'm just going to stick to the primers that I have. I'm going to stick to using them up, getting through them, and getting to the point where I feel like I can buy the VDL Lumilayer primer for myself, because that's my favorite one. So this, it's still in purgatory. I've only used it a couple times. I'm going to rehome it. This is the Open Formula Rose Hip Oil. I have opened it and used it. I love rose hip oil. I love a face oil. I love a face oil for under $10. I'm going to keep this and use it up. That's it. We did it. We got through. Oh no. Oh, these are so sad, but I have to talk about them. There's just two more things. Ofra sent me the glazed donut highlighter from the Nikki Tutorials collab, which is something that I've coveted for a long time because it's that like really beautiful sheer icy shade, and it arrived totally shattered. And I tried it. I've used it in its shattered, like as a powder highlight, basically in its shattered form, and it is incredibly beautiful. I just don't think that I'm about going through the process of repressing it, given that I am not that much of a devotee of powder highlighters to begin with. And I also have the Madison Miller Moondance highlight in perfect condition, and I really love that. It's like it gives me a super glossy effect. Okay, this is making me feel a little bit better. So I'm swatching them side by side, and the Nikki Tutorials, I don't know if you can see from back there, but the Nikki Tutorials is on that side and Moondance is on that side. The Nikki Tutorials, when glazed donut, it is more white, like it's more snowy, and Moondance is more champagne. And Moondance, because I'm very pale but yellow toned, it's really more of a match for my skin tone. So really, if they were both in pristine condition and I were pressed to choose between them, I would still choose Moondance. So it's fine. It was sort of a feeling of tragedy that came upon me when I opened it and I saw that it was shattered. But now I see that maybe I was actually saved from being compelled to keep a highlight that would have been less ideal than one that I already had, because I think I would have been really tempted to keep it. It would have been hard for me to not keep it. So unfortunately, it wasn't the only one that arrived broken. This is the Snuggle Up Blush Highlight Duo Compact. So it's half and half, a sort of champagne-y gold on one side and a really, really pretty blush on the other side. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely stunning. But it's another one that I don't feel pressed enough about it to repress it. This one isn't completely shattered like glazed donut. It might be that I can shake out some of the highlight that has broken and that the part that's still pressed would be usable for someone. So I might see if anyone that I know wants to take this off of my hands, but I myself am not going to keep it. I feel like I have the Samantha March one. I have a lot of beautiful blushes, and I'm gravitating more towards liquid and cream blushes these days anyway. So I'm gonna put those both of these in the not keep pile. Okay, that is it. That is it. I did it. I made it through many things that I needed to decide about. Counting the Glossier things, which I'm counting because even though I got them with store credit, I'm still counting them as stuff in. There are 15 things that I am acquiring from this reckoning, and 16 things that I'm choosing not to acquire as a result of this reckoning. So I came out just by a hair's breadth. Came out ahead, letting go of more things than I'm keeping. Like I said in my recent check-in, I'm trying to be more relaxed about the emotional reaction to the year of less stuff than I maybe was for the first couple of months, because it's just not worth it to have angst over that when there's so much garbage going on in the world. And I'm really pleased and feeling really lucky to be able to have and use these things. And that is just where I'm going to leave it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that you are taking extra good care of yourself right now so that you can be the most effective version of yourself as you do your work in the world.